All right, guys. So I forgot to give you guys the closing of the actuator and stuff back in, but I ended up slapping a coated ignition in that car. So now I'm at a Tahoe, same ignition, same Silverado kind of deal. This one will be a Chevy Tahoe, so 99 to 2005, and we got 1 in 10 chances that it'll start. And if it doesn't start, you leave it in the on position for 10 minutes, and then it usually shuts it up. If that doesn't work, like I said, you will pull your hair out trying to get it started. And even as many times I've had to just let the dealer do with it because I couldn't figure it out. So we'll code this back in. This is the only way I will guarantee one of these locks, because before, if you get that door out, if you have a brand new door and you could get it out cleanly, I would say yes, maybe. But this right now priced January 1st is like 14 bucks. Okay, during the year in the summer, it could be like 28 or 32, 23. It fluctuates so much that it's best to buy keyless factory in the winter. So if you can, save your money and buy it then, because this is like $14 right now. So it's a good buy now. But sometimes you have to go to fucking, AutoZone, Auto Parts, and buy stuff that you don't have in stock, or shit that you can't order on the internet and get it same day in your car in 30 minutes while you're driving to the next job. So even I have to do shit like this. This one I'm gonna return because I actually had the stock in the car. So you get all your wafers, you get all your pinning kits. It's really simple. You put a spring in, you put the wafer in. You have to put the top on this one to basically get it to work. And if the sidebar depresses, then it's good. When you got it coated up and the sidebar looks like that with the key in it, then it's good. It's gonna fly. It's gonna work. But if it sticks out for any reason, it's probably a pain in the butt. So usually what I do is I'll sight read this one, since I don't want to turn my key machine on. But you could turn your key machine on and decode it, and then you got a foolproof method of having it done. So usually I think it's 1 through 9, with the 10th chamber not being empty. We'll key it up, and yeah. So I put cut 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9 in there. So those other cuts were 2s, and they just weren't making the sidebar go down. So that's the sidebar down with the key and all the pins pressed down. And if you put your pick in there, you'll kind of hear it click and the sidebar goes in. But with those 2s in there, I didn't quite like it, and I don't want to have problems. So, and then not only that, we're keeping original keys. So this guy got remotes, he got keys. They work all the other door locks. We want to make this lock work like all the rest of them. So we're gonna leave the problem 2 wafers out, and we're gonna so the wafer goes in first, and then the spring goes on top of it, and then you got 1 chance to put that door in straight. Like, there's only 1 chance. If you fuck it up, you're gonna open another pack, and there's another $13. So now you're back at $30. Fuck it up again, well, then you're at a freaking smart lock. So be careful, take your time. So I put my springs all in there. I pushed every wafer down so I could get the deepest possible thing in each chamber. And then I put my cap on top, and then make sure I got all my things in there, and I just kind of press it down. You can put these vice grips, but you just press it in there, seat it in there, okay, and it's not coming out. You don't have to crimp it or anything like that. These ones fit really tight. Now if you did do some weird shit and you took this off and you didn't damage it, and you could stick it back in without one of the corners breaking, you gotta crimp it. So you'll take a screwdriver and you'll whack it fucking hard, okay, until this metal bends over the door, the little removable metal, and then you'll just whack all the way like stitching, and then it shouldn't come out, but it does sometimes. And that's when I said that I will not guarantee this stuff anymore, because I actually lose more money. This is easier, cheaper, better. And this is also a headache too, because you got 1 in 10 chances that it'll start. But I'd still rather give one of these, because I know I'm not going to come back when the work's done. Like once we're already paid, you know, if it doesn't start and blah 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 blah, sometimes we got to work something out. But we don't want to come back. So now let's put our key in it and see what it looks like. So that's underpressed. And that's depressed, but it kind of has to take a little thing. I don't know if it's because we don't got any lubricant in it or something, so I'm gonna shove a bunch of lubricant in it. I don't put it on first or when I'm building it. I put it on after. So Chevy comes off pretty much, the Chevy Tahoe comes off pretty much the same way as the Silverado. Little panel there, there's a screw right here. You take this cover off, and then there's a screw right here. This you don't have to pull out, so I just was able to pull the door panel straight up, and then we can disconnect all the wires and stuff and put the thing in the back seat. So that box is actually held in with 2 screws. That's why we pull up. So yeah, if you just pull that out and clip this one first, and then it'll just kind of go through, and then you can do each tab. This one just kind of flips over, but that was the only part that we broke, but it'll still sit in there nice. Alright, so there's the lock, and this one got punched out as well. So there's that handle, and this is actually the same handle as the Chevy Silverado. So we'll take it off the rod and see if the key still works, and if it's still good, then we'll probably replace the door handle and put it back in. So this one wasn't like the last one. The inside cover, dust cover, is kind of messed up, but the lock still works pretty good. I usually can't get this off unless I use pliers. Like, it's really hard. But yeah, we'll just slap it in there, give him a new door handle, and stick it in there. It's not like a big issue. If you ever wanted to replace it, you'll have to get a new door lock. Lock Smart, I think we just paid $63 with tax, and you get 2 of them. All right, so I couldn't keep my code. I ended up cutting one of my code. There's some like grease, and getting it to turn right. So it works. It's still a little funny. Like, you gotta kind of mess with it to get that sidebar to kick in, and then it'll kind of go. So to have a smoother lock, even with his key. So my solution was to cut my own key and see if it worked, but even his keys, it kind of does that same thing. It kind of messes it to get it over. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the ignition out, and we're gonna file the sidebar with the file. Alright, so Stratec, Lock Smart, any of those brands, even this keyless rides, sometimes you will run into that problem, and you gotta kind of give the thing a file. So I take the key out, make sure that the sidebar is all the way out, and then I use my coarsest impressioning file. So that'd be like, I don't know, it's definitely coarser than a 0, but whatever the Gorbit file set is, there's a coarse flat file that they give you standard. I use that one and just file it down a little bit, and it works much better. Alright, so This one was way easier to get out than that Silverado. I think the other one was a work truck. It was weathered, it was rusted. This one you could get in with an extension 10, and you could get in with an extension. There's a hole. But this one, I can never get a ratchet in there, and I usually don't own wrenches. I always lose them. So I took my Pittsburgh socket and I just made straight edges on one side with a grinder, and then I put my vice grips on it, and I'm able to wrench it off until it's loose, and then hand loosen it all the way. And then when I put it back on, usually if you go hand tight all the way until it stops, you're not gonna have a problem. And then if you could get this on there, then you could give it another turn. Don't over tighten it, because these are just set in with plastic, and they're like screw bolt heads. So whatever they do from the factory, they just like drill them in there and then epoxy it or something, or drill it in hot, and then they're there, so they're easy to break. So don't overdo it. Alright, the new door handle's in, and now we'll try the lock. I think it works good enough for being slightly damaged, and we keep the job cheaper. We gotta use parts that he has, plus he got his fobs, so he's probably not gonna use them very often. But you know, now people can't get in there with some needle nose pliers and open his door. They're gonna have to break it again. So put his parts back in. It's a really clean ride for 2003, 2004. Yeah, real clean ride. So we did end up cutting a key, and this is my job, so I absolutely get to stamp this job. So stamping it without that vise, I bought this thing, and it's supposed to sit in another vise, and it's like holds it really straight. Then you can hit it with the mallet. Well, I hit it with the screwdriver, and then I hit it on top of my car on one of these hockey puck lock plates, so it doesn't stamp very right. And that's probably why I don't stamp very many of my keys. Like if I got a box of keys and I just bought, I'd probably just stamp them all right away, just so I could guarantee the job. But they don't stamp very good, so well, it was our job. We gotta stamp it. It's stamped.